Hello and welcome to Inside Leominster. My name is Dean Mazzarella, Mayor for the City of Leominster, and yes, we're live tonight. We are in the John R. Tater Auditorium here at City Hall, and it's Earth Fest. And tonight we're going to bring you a live show and talk to you a little bit about things that impact the environment. And so we'll talk a little bit about planting trees, growing places, some of the items that the city has to offer in terms of rain barrels and compost bins. And so we'll be doing that tonight, and as always, we'll update you on what's happening in and around town. I will take a sip of water occasionally, Bradley. I'll take a water just to start to lose my voice, which is some people are happy about and others are sympathetic. Kidding. Anyway, on the other side of that cold that everybody seems to get, so a little scratchy throat, but I'm just fine. Anyway, lots going on in and around town, and want to, before we start walking around chatting with some of the guests that are here tonight, just want to point out a few things that we're doing. You know, we try to answer every call. So you can call our phone number at City Hall, 534-7500. That brings you right to the mayor's office, and there are a bunch of extensions from that. But you know, obviously you can use all kinds of other medias, such as emails and Facebook messaging and any other way that you can get through to us. But it's the one that's most helpful is, you know, sort of the ones that are directly tied to City Hall. So somebody might put, hey, you know, there's a huge pothole on Main Street, or, you know, Pleasant Street. Well, it may take us a while to find that on Facebook. So what we ask is that if you see something, you can either go to See Click Fix, and Diana Richard works on that, so she can manipulate that information around and make sure it gets to the right people. And again, you know, the best way is the one that absolutely makes sure we know about it. So we don't always, you know, we're not always, you know, attached to the social media circuit. And so if it's something you really want us to know about, by all means, you know, pick up the phone, sort of the old-fashioned way, stop in, or you can. You know, you can try the other medias, but you know, there's no guarantee. Or you can email us, and we're on that all day long. So anyway, just as a helpful hint. And then a lot of times it starts, you know, some of the stuff that gets posted starts just a chain of activity in terms of back and forth, and then before long, everybody lost, you know, what was exactly the subject matter. You know what I mean, Bradley? You know, you've seen that happen, right? Somebody says, when's Popeye's going to open? The next thing you know, people are talking about 1,000 other things. You lost the whole essence of the question. Anyway, no phone calls tonight, but it's a wet Thursday night, but it's nice here at City Hall, and Easter and Passover are around the corner, and Greek Easter is a week away, and we had Easter Fun Day here at City Hall, and I believe that would start at 10 o'clock this morning, ended at 3. And I believe that probably broke the record here at City Hall. Did you guys get any film on that? No, we got pictures and stuff. Anyway, somewhere around 500 kids came to Easter Fun Day. They had the Easter Bunny here, and you'd never know. This was transformed into an Easter paradise here. And everything got broken down and put away and cleaned up and ready for Earth Fest. So we're going to take a little skip around, Bradley, whenever you're ready. I'm going to take my little bottle of water here. But let's start off. We'll go over to growing places. And we had them on our show last week. Get ready, ladies, because here we come. So we...
Mic.
Oh, I need the mic for them. That's right. See, I am not being very considerate. Let's get the mic for them. Look at our little plants here at City Hall. We have a very talented group of environmentalist here at City Hall, and they just got the green thumb and took these. And now if you come into City Hall, we have plants all over, and it's going to look even more friendly when you come in here. Okay, ladies. I'm good. All right.
Get the mic.
You're going to have to do all the talking because I'm losing my voice.
Are we on TV?
Yes, we are. We're live.
We're
And
live?
Yes. So, tell us what's happening. I know it's tree planting season.
Is this thing on?
Yes. Is it? Can you hear it? Can you hear them okay? Yeah.
So, yeah, we're here. We're representing Growing Places. We're a local nonprofit located here in Leominster. We also, as part of our work, so we're a food access organization. We manage community teaching gardens, one right here in Leominster on Lindell Avenue. We've got Learn and Grow workshops, a mushroom workshop coming up. And we also manage the Leominster Marketplace, which is happening in the City Hall next Saturday, the 27th. Or not this coming Saturday, the following one.
So you're going to start going outside, right?
Soon we'll move outside. May 25th we'll be out on the Monument Square. Then we've got over here our GGC program. So that stands for Greening the Gateway Cities. Ashley is our Greening the Gateway Cities coordinator. So we manage this program, or we do outreach for this program as a agent of the state, which funded this particular initiative. So basically what we do is we plant trees in indicated zones around the city of Leominster, and we're hoping to increase canopy and tree cover here in the city.
Some trees are now in their third year,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, this is the third year.
We're going to
of
get
the
to see some
program.
of them pop this year, right? You know, some of the beautiful, the
I'll let
flowering
Ashley
ones
answer
or the
that.
ones with,
Yeah.
So that's exciting. I mean, 3 years ago they planted, they grow pretty fast, and
Yeah,
as I
it's
drive around, it
exciting.
looks like, knock on plastic here, it looks like they survived the winter.
Yes.
You know, they didn't get
That's
hit
what
by
it looks
plows or anything. So
Yeah.
we did well. We're really excited.
We planted almost 2,000 trees so far.
2,000.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Almost 2,000 trees. Yeah. We are hoping to plant about 500 more. So
Yes,
call us. Yeah.
we're going to help you reach that goal.
Yeah, definitely.
I want to tell you, one of the events we got our little microgreens,
Yeah.
Yes.
and boy,
Did you plant them?
I ate them.
How were they?
They were excellent, fresh.
We've got more microgreen kits here for sale today, $5.
They were so good.
Yeah,
they were
we've
really
got
good. Like
testimony
literally just
here.
cut, bang.
Yeah, that's
So a
great.
number of the different things that'll be happening this year. The farmers market is going to change a little bit.
Yep.
You're going to try to get out into some of the neighborhoods and some other venues to
Yes.
bring the farmers market. Try that and see how that goes. And but downtown's a beautiful spot, but so are some of our other neighborhoods that we might be able to reach. And to help
Exactly.
people understand how to cook healthy, right? It's nice to have all this neat stuff out there in the produce aisle,
Yeah, it totally is.
but it's also nice to know what to do with it, right?
Right.
When I always see people picking up plantains. They're always like, "What do you do with these things?" Because they look like bananas, right? And
Yes.
so a lot of products like turnip. People don't know what to do with a turnip. But what do you do with a turnip?
Yeah, so we provide education for people who don't know how to use produce too. So like our Learn and Grow workshops, we do like a healthy eating track where we have cooking classes. And we also teach people how to grow their own food in our community teaching gardens. And then part of that process too is teaching them how to cook with their own food. So we do like hands-on cooking demos at the gardens and provide support throughout the season. So if you don't know how to use produce, but you really want to, you can come to some of our classes.
This year, I'm not sure what year it is, Tree City USA, and on Arbor Day we do something special every year. And next Friday, on the 26th, you're going to be at Doyle Field,
Nice.
right?
Yeah, we are.
Yes, we will be for Arbor Day.
Like, oh yeah, of course we are.
Yeah, we will.
You have to look it.
Ashley can talk about that 'cause that's
Yeah,
her
so
Okay.
we'll be there next Friday. That's the 26th from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Our foresters are going to give a tree planting demonstration. I'm also going to be leading a tree identification walk.
Aha.
Yeah, so you can learn how to identify.
Do you know
some
where we
trees.
were last
We're,
Arbor Day?
yeah, we were over on 3rd Street.
Yeah, near Spring Street.
Yeah.
I haven't gone by those. I was waiting for like the 1 year anniversary.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go by soon.
Yeah, I
And
think
just to
they're
see what they
all
look
good.
like. But those were nice looking looking trees there.
Yeah.
The kids were really excited. Remember, we did
Oh,
live.
yeah, the kids
we did
were
a live
excited.
show from there. It was
Yeah.
pretty exciting.
We're also going to be hosting a youth scavenger hunt, so bring your kids. Yeah, it's going to be fun.
So-
we'll have stickers to give out. It'll be great.
Doyle Field,
Doyle Field, yep.
Friday the 26th, 3 to 5.
Yes.
So
It's going to be a great event.
just a week away. And if anybody has any questions about, am I in the area? I abut the area. I'm not sure. I'm on the right side of the street. It's 617-626-1514. And that will put everybody in touch with them, and then you can get right to the details and get all the information you need. Other than that, there are plenty of other places to get it. But if you run into that technical question you're not really sure of, that's the right place to call, right?
Yes,
And
it is.
they're right here in the city, and we love having you. It's going to be difficult not to have you guys based out of here.
Yeah, I know.
We're going to try really hard to keep you here.
We'll stay as long as we can.
Well, thank you.
All right.
You're watching Inside Leominster, and my name is Dean Mazzarella, Mayor for the city. A little scratchy throat tonight, so we're letting them do all the talking, or most of it, which they should be. And we're at City Hall, and it's Earthfest. And we're going to slide over to citywide cleanup. We're going to go see Melissa. And as you know, every year for 25 years, we've done a cleanup of the city. And here's Melissa, who transformed herself from Easter Fun Day to Earthfest. And you don't even see, it doesn't even resemble the same place.
You can't tell that was this morning, yeah. Yeah, we've switched over to Earthfest, and I'm here to talk about the citywide cleanup and get people interested and signed up with a location and a date and a time, if they know it, to participate in the cleanup. We have everything that you need. We have bags and gloves. We have shirts for the first people who sign up.
We only have so many, so obviously you set up, right? There's our sponsors. We want to thank them being our sponsors.
And the citywide cleanup will officially kick off on Monday, April 22nd, which is Earth Day. And it'll run through May 17th. You just pick your spot, you pick your day, you pick your time, pick up some trash, and then the DPW will come by and pick it up.
In the past, we used to have a day, or a week, and then we realized everybody's got busy schedules, people are out, different events are going on, weddings are kicking in. So we kind of opened it up to say, hey, whenever, if you see a spot or you want a location, we'll send you in a spot. And but it doesn't have to be. It could be at night. It could be early in the morning before work. It could be on Saturday or Sunday, whatever it is. It could be a church group, people in your neighborhood, just a family going out and spending an hour, a half hour, an hour, just clean up. What a difference you can make.
Exactly.
So how do they reach you? Because we all have new extensions here.
We do. They can go right on Facebook.
Okay.
We have an event for the citywide cleanup on Facebook. It's going to look like that. You go on, you can get all the information you need. Our phone numbers are there. But if you do call City Hall, 978-534-7500, and my extension is 3579, we can give you all the information you need for the citywide cleanup. And once again, one of our sponsors is Buzz and Thrive. So on that Facebook event page, you're going to see a contest that you can participate in and win a gift certificate from our friends at Buzz and Thrive.
All
so you
right.
can plant some flowers in the space that maybe you've cleaned up.
You want to give a little plug for Taste of Leominster? We'll be here next week, next
Yeah.
Wednesday.
Less than a week away, we're going to be back here for Taste of Leominster, one of my favorites. We'll fill the auditorium with local restaurants. We have drinks, we have food, we have appetizers, we have desserts, we have it all. We have some businesses that are just opening and will be here, to favorites that have been in town for years. So it'll be a great event. Tickets are available now in the mayor's office and also online. This is our first year doing online ticketing, and all tickets are $20 plus online fees until Friday, right through Friday. Saturday, the price goes to $25. So do yourself a favor, grab the tickets for $20 and then come back
What a fun night, too.
next Wednesday,
It's
April
the greatest.
24th. It's
We
so
meet
much fun.
people, so many new people in town. A lot of fun. So if you can make it, by all means get those tickets sooner. And a last plug for the cleanup. We have the gloves, everything, pretty much self-contained here. And all you need to do is pick the spot, or we'll pick one for you. And just give our office a buzz, and we'll connect you.
Yeah, we can get you involved with some other folks. If you don't have a spot to clean, we have other people that have decided to do more group cleanup. So don't be shy. We'll find a spot for you.
All right.
Okay,
Thank you. Thank you, Melissa. And let's get Vicki on. Let's do Vicki so Vicki can get on with her life. Vicki, take this and we'll go sit down and then we'll go over to Dick. And we have our little setup. Look at this, huh?
This is very nice.
Little piano music in the background. So Vicki's here from Beacon of Hope. And it's getting to be that time when it's time for another one of your big fundraisers, really, for Beacon of Hope, and that's the walk.
Yes.
Walk, and that's coming up when?
The walk is April 28th.
Really? So it's that
Yeah,
fast.
yeah.
I keep seeing it, and I'm like, oh, you know, Easter seems so far away. And then all of a sudden, it's Sunday.
I think once you hit February, it just
I guess. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It just does move. So tell us about, what Beacon does and what this event does and what it means to the
Sure.
to the Beacon.
Beacon of Hope, we are a human services agency out of St. Mark's, up the street. And we've been around for 31 years working with people with developmental disabilities. Currently, we have an evening respite program where we offer folks a place to socialize, meet people, have a nutritious meal, and it also gives their caregivers a little break during the week so that they can go out and do whatever they need to do, a little downtime, run errands, go out to dinner. And we also have a life skills program where we teach people independent living skills like cooking, money management. We take them out into the community and we provide them with some mentoring training so that they can help out the folks in the Wednesday and Friday night program.
It's the best program. I mean, it really is. It's when a volunteer goes there and somebody's never been and they see what happens there, they immediately like sign me up.
I always say it's like the Hotel California. Once you come, you don't want to leave. We have volunteers that have been there for 30 years, individuals,
amazing?
Participants that have been there for 30 years. And sometimes I think the volunteers get more out of the program than the participants.
They feel guilty. Like, why am I having so much fun here? That's not supposed to be.
Yeah.
And if somebody wants to volunteer or make a donation, you don't have to do the walk or anything. You can just make a donation, or sometimes there are things you need for the center and for the Beacon. And so sometimes there are things that you need, and you have a list of things sometimes like, hey, we could use cups, or we could, certain things you might be able to use.
Yeah.
How do they reach you?
You can call the office at 978-840-2727, or we have a website, www.beaconofhopema.org. And like you said, money donations are great, but there are other things that we need. We do provide a meal, so any paper supplies, food supplies, we look for volunteers to actually make the meal as well. So you can always contact us at the Beacon. Yeah.
So coming up is the walk. Tell us
Yes.
about that. Meets down. You start off at the Knights of Columbus.
Yeah, this is actually our 27th year
Wow.
doing the walk.
That's wonderful.
We start off at the Knights of Columbus on Lancaster Street. It's a 5-mile walk, but if people can't do the whole 5 miles, we do have vehicles coming around and picking people up. Registration starts at 8 and the walk starts at 9. Come early, we have coffee and donuts and camaraderie, and following the walk, we have a pizza party. You can register the day of, registrations from 8 to 9, and you can pre-register on our website at beaconofhopema.org.
That sounds good.
Are you going to do it this year?
My knee's better this year. Last year it was like RoboCop out there. So hopefully, yeah. I mean, it's just a week away.
It
right?
is, yes.
It's the weekend. It's a Sunday after. Is it Sunday or Saturday?
Sunday.
Sunday. So it's the Sunday after Easter. So.
It's really nice. It's early enough in the morning. You get it done,
And then move on.
and then
Go
you
home
have
and
the
rake
rest of your
leaves.
the rest of your day.
Thank you, Vicki, for coming on, and thank you for what you do. It's a great organization. Who was I with today? The Eagles. Are they one of your sponsors up there?
They help us out there.
They are. They I think they were very complimentary of the Beacon, and I think they would like to get more involved, and so that's a good thing, right? That's what I say. Once you see it, that's it.
Exactly.
Right? You're hooked. All right. Thank you, Vicki.
Thank you so
Good to
much.
see you.
You too.
All right.
Take care.
978. No, we can't give phone numbers out, but our number at City Hall is 978-534-7500. And that gets you into the mayor's office and then a couple of different extensions, and mine's in there as well. But you can just listen. It's a short message, and then and then you're in. So we're going to bounce back to a couple of the other units. How many minutes do we have? If you want to.
6:15.
Oh, okay. We're doing pretty well. But we're just trying to promote some of the things that relate to the environment. Back, let's see, I was in the 7th grade at May Gallagher. It was the first Earth Day that they had, and John Gallagher was our science teacher, and he literally took us into the woods and showed us different plants and edible plants, things that we never knew about. And we formed a little group for the first Earth Day. And I don't know if you remember this, but they actually had Earth shoes. Did you ever hear that, Bradley? So Google Earth shoes. So they were kind of like hush puppies, if you know what those are. But they had a little cut to the side, like, and they were called Earth shoes. And so it's when I think the beginning of when people really started to be aware of the environment, that the environment wasn't something that you could just abuse, and that although if you left it alone it would replenish itself, that you could do much in the way of destruction, and that we needed to value the environment and our water and vegetation and plants and trees and everything else that makes up our ecosystem. And that was the very beginning of what they call now Earth Day. And we were so excited to be part of the first one. I learned so much from Mr. Gallagher in terms of, getting little wild berries that must have been winterberry or some berries that you could eat out in the woods and tasted like gum. And plenty of plants, the plants to stay away from, and what kind of certain trees were, and how valuable that runoff that we have during storms is to the ecosystem, and what happens to it, and how water will actually filter itself out through certain soil compositions. So anyway, it's been a long time, and I think people have made a lot of progress, and it's just a matter of being aware. And sometimes, I remember, Bradley, listen to this, people used to change their oil and just dump it in the ground. They would just change your oil, undo the plug, and let it drop. Does that sound, no, but that was a normal thing that people used, not, I wouldn't say normal, but that was what people used to do. They polluted the waters, and there were a whole lot of things that we could go back in time, but I think we made progress, and people are much more aware, and this, it's one of those things you never, it's like your health, you always have to stay up on it. Your education, you always have to stay up on it. Same thing with the environment. Let's scoot over. If you don't mind, I'll take my little, let's go over here, and we'll talk to Chris Knuth. He's the health director, and Michelle, whoever wants to grab the microphone. I'm running out of voice, but we have a number of items available at the Leominster Health Department. So why don't you run through all the different things that we have here?
Well, we're selling overflow bags, so if you can't fit everything into your rubbish
Let's take one out. I'm going to put one of Diana's kids in it to show you how big
Isn't there one on
these
the front
things are.
Yes.
There is, but all right, because it's the greatest deal going.
You put a lot in them.
Ella puts it in there.
Look at, this thing's massive. All right, we'll have him jump
without a
inside.
safety.
All right, hop in.
Rip.
You want to jump in too? No? Okay, pull it up. Now, I could almost jump in there with them. Well, when I was 20 maybe, but, so you can, and so how much are those again?
They're $3 a piece.
$3 a piece. You can get a lot in there.
You can.
So what happens is everybody gets a bin, right?
Yep.
But sometimes there's a function going on at your house or a party or something, and you need more
Yeah, or you're
space.
cleaning something out.
So what's been going on is we have like this pyramid thing going on where it goes up and then up and then up, and then it's like a balancing act, and you keep putting things, and then it's like stacking stones, and it just keeps, and then it's up to here. And that's not really what the program was set up to do, is normal household trash. And if you use both bins, recycling and trash, you should be able to fit everything in, cutting up cardboard, those kinds of things.
And we also, you can go up to the transfer station, bring one bag a week, not even an overflow bag, just a regular bag up there if you have even more. Plus we have the 8 weeks of yard waste cleanup right at your doorstep in the spring and in the fall. So it's 16 weeks total.
Very healthy, as we speak about the environment, it's very healthy to get out there and rake leaves. Especially moms. I see a lot of moms out there raking leaves now because they know it's good for them. They're outside and using your muscles.
Yeah, the weather's getting nice. People like to
Beautiful.
be outside.
I like raking leaves now.
Yeah.
I never used to like it
Black
as
flies
much.
aren't out yet, but once
No.
they-
Well,
when they come
that's the
out,
thing I was saying the other night. We probably have some of the nicest evenings because the bugs aren't out yet. Once they come, then you got to be quiet
It's terrible,
and
actually.
put the earbuds in. And you have a little compost.
Sure, this is kitchen compost bins. You
Good
can
job,
put all
buddy.
your kitchen scraps in there, take it out and put it on your compost pile. We have a larger compost bin if you want to get really into it. You can put your scraps in there, soil.
How much are these, Chris?
Those are $45.
45 bucks.
Yeah.
And there's nothing better than compost soil. Nothing in the world.
Yeah. Now this is a rain barrel. Those are $65, and you can hook your downspouts from your house gutter right into the top of this thing. It'll fill up, and you can use it to water your garden or your lawn, whatever you want to do.
It's got a little spigot in here. It's already put in. If you go down and buy a kit, and you buy the barrel, and you buy this, you know, the kit that and then you have to drill it out, it's way more than $65 to
Oh,
do
I know.
that. So I tried it, and I'm like, you know what? It's just cheaper to buy one of these.
That's easier. And these are really strong. I use one for washing my motorcycle, so I would recommend it.
Good move.
Yep.
And let's talk a little bit about some of the things. Like we have the Hazardous Materials Day coming up, and do you have the date on that?
I don't have the date in my head.
Let's get the Hazardous
here we
Material
go.
Day.
No, our recycling event.
Okay, recycling
We have
event.
4 household hazardous waste
May
days
11th
every
is the
year.
next one.
No, that is our annual recycling day. It's
Okay.
different. Household hazardous waste, I think the next one might be in June.
That's the big one with all the.
22nd.
That's the one where you have all the different stations.
Yes.
Okay.
Now this one is a recycling event where people can come in and bring in clothes, books,
Tires.
tires, waste oil, yep, used hypodermic needles, things like that. Used building materials or building materials you don't want.
Now here's the big one, because somebody called me the other day and said they went to the transfer station and it was a huge amount of money to get rid of a television or something. And we're going to be doing electronics for free. So that's
Some electronics, televisions
computers,
still cost.
laptops, washers, dryers, gas grills, gas-powered lawn, garden equipment, metals and air conditioning units, dehumidifiers, dishwashers and stoves. Electronics that will be taken for a fee are TVs and monitors, wood TVs, projection TVs, flat screen, plasmas, small electronic and household appliances, so other things with a cord, glass top stoves, wooden items, other things that have other products in them is pretty much what it is.
Yep. We do pretty well at those events. We get like about 400 cars?
Over 400 cars.
Yeah.
It's very organized. If you come down and see a line that looks like it's around the building, don't panic. It moves. Don't say, oh no, what are these guys doing? Don't they know what they're doing? No, don't panic. It's really organized, and to have you, unless you have something that we can't take, but you can still bring things down there and pay for them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to get everything I can electronic in that day, and I don't care what it costs. I just want to be done with it. I don't want to be fooling around and just pay for it and get rid of it that day. I'll
We
be a
got
happy guy.
Captain Tom Bissonette down there taking care of the traffic and stuff. He's very good.
No, it goes really well. And
we got a good
again,
crew.
that's coming up May 11th. It's from 9 to 1. If you don't know where the DPW yard is, it's at 109 Graham Street between Central and Lancaster. And is this all up on the website at this point?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, so everything's up on the website, and you can find out anything you want about all these other things by calling the health department. Now, one of the questions I get a lot of times is, it seems as though the machine that picks these things up, the new machine, really, it just makes them go really. It's a nice thing, not that people get hurt, but it breaks the top of the lids, and people always ask me, so who's responsible for that?
We pay for it. The city is replacing them for people.
And then if they get lost, I know here's where the bad news is.
Yeah.
Somebody comes by and swipes it, or somebody moves out and they're a tenant and they take it, they fill it up with their, I don't know, whatever it is they take it, they move it out, they take this bin and they move to Maine and they're out, right?
Yep, they're going to have to replace it. We only had, we did like 25,000 of these went out.
Right.
And we gave it out to all the houses and the multi-houses and everything else. If they get lost at this point, then the owners have to replace them.
Right. We don't have a budget to keep buying these things.
No, they're $85 a piece. So write your numbers down. We do have the numbers at the office. So if anybody ever does lose one, please contact us and we'll give you the number so you can look around and see if it got lost in your neighbor's totes.
Can you buy an extra one?
You can. They're, I think it's $225 a year to have Shaw's come and pick it up.
Okay.
And you directly contract with Shaw's, not the city.
Does anybody do that?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
People actually do that. That's
Not
amazing.
a lot, but
yeah.
I bet 20 people. Or
Really? Wow, that's more than I thought. Anyway.
Well, a lot of people move back in with their parents.
Yeah, no, and they're like, you know what? We're sharing the expenses. It's $200. You know, it's a small amount to pay. I mean, Princeton, Westminster.
Oh, I pay more than that.
It's by the quarter, and you pay a lot of money to get your, your trash and recycling
It's
picked
about
up.
$500 a year for me now.
Hey, that's substantial, and we don't.
They get
so.
great benefits here in
Yeah,
Leominster. They really do.
We really do. And good city employees who care about the community and the
we're
people.
trying.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Chris.
Take care. Thank you, Dean.
All right. And look at that, standing ovation. Oh, let's get Angie over here. A conservation agent, environmental inspector for the city.
Hi.
So tell us what's happening. Tell us about what you do for the city.
So I'm the conservation agent for the city, so I handle the Wetland Protection Act for the city, so any contractors or homeowners or developers that want to do work within a resource area or the riverfront area, they come to me first. I work with homeowners on stormwater.
Did you see that lizard over there?
I did see that lizard over there, made me giggle. I work with homeowners on stormwater problems. Leominster is basically a floodplain, so I work with a lot of people in the city. And right now I have a lot of stuff for kids because the city has applied and been granted their MS4 permit. So I have a coloring book and a poem.
What's an MS? Everybody uses the term, but sometimes people don't ask the question like, so what's that mean?
It basically gives us permission to discharge into the waters of the United States. We have a stormwater committee in Leominster, and we work very hard to meet these extremely high standards. We have meetings often. We work with Dean, we work with DPW, we work with Board of Health, we work with Conservation, we work with planning, just to make sure that when we put developments in, we put in proper stormwater systems that if they need to filter out sediment or debris or they need to discharge properly, we make sure it's happening. And we also educate the public, which is a huge part of it. So your dog waste cannot go into the catch basins, which is a big thing. We encourage catch basin clearing, culvert clearing. If you see something, give the office a call, DPW, Conservation. If you see a culvert that's overflowing, needs help, most definitely let us know.
In the past, I know in the development that happened 30 years ago, everybody would just take their water. If you were doing addition on your yard, you just kind of, you just ran it out to the neighbor's yard, and if maybe they didn't build on their lot yet, you just ran it out and off it goes. You can't do that anymore.
Exactly.
Right. It was a new time and a new period. It's not grandfathered, so you can't go back to somebody and say, hey, you're going to get your land, your water off my land. But it did start a whole new wave of accountability, saying you can't just take your water and put it on to somebody else or put it into the street. You really have to control the water that's on your property.
And we need to treat it if it needs to be treated. We need to be maintaining it because our resources are very important to us. We're not going to have them for much longer if we don't take care of them.
Right. So if people have a question, maybe they're near the wetlands and they're not sure and they want to thinking about putting an addition on or a swimming pool, and they have questions about touching things, cutting and whatever.
Yeah.
How do they reach you?
You can call me at City Hall. My office line, my direct office line is 978-962-3549, or you can email me at conservation@leominster-ma.gov. I'm in the office, from 8:30 to 4, usually later, because we all love it here.
That's right.
And
we're growing plants.
We are. We love plants here.
We love plants.
And then we also have the next table. we so kindly, Mrs. Monterulli from Leominster High School, some of her AP and honor students provided us with some posters about sustainability in the city, and we've been voting on them all week, and we have a winner. So we have our winner as number 1,
Nice job.
and they'll be getting a prize from the city for their great work.
Very nice. Nice job, students. Thank you, Angie.
Thank you.
All right, let's go. Let's go fly a kite. Dick O'Brien from the Leominster Trail Stewards. I bet a lot of people are watching this saying, I didn't know we had a trail committee around here in Leominster, right?
That's right, Dean. We've been in existence since the big ice storm in 2009.
It was a big help because all those trees came down, blocked all the trails.
That's right, that's right. So we got a big taste of clearing trails then. A lot of people stayed on, and we've been doing it ever since. We meet every Saturday morning. Now it's once a month we go out and do trail work. You can see here, if you can see these, the three. The blue line is the Manusnock Trail. It's about 9 miles in length, and it goes from West Street all the way down to Sholen Farm. And that is.
Guy just told me the other day he ran this.
Yes.
There are people that run it, you know?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I used to have an employee who worked for me at the trustees who would run it 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
He was one of these ultra marathoners,
Yeah.
and he'd run 50 miles. Anyways, that's that. So the trail stewards are doing that. And I gotta pitch this.
Yes.
City of Leominster got this trail grant that purchased $60,000 worth of tools and trailers. And this past weekend, we got out for the first time using those tools. We had a great group. We were very productive. It was a great time. It was great weather. Everybody worked safely. We had no accidents or injuries.
Knock on plastic.
And we want to see that happen over and over again. So if you're listening to this and you use our trails, think about coming out and helping us. You don't have to come out every time,
Right.
but once or twice a year and give back so that you help keep the trails in good shape for everyone.
Even an hour,
Yeah.
an hour or two, it does so much.
8 or
Makes such a
10,
big-
well, you know,
right.
whatever.
Well, whatever you got, right? If you come and you can spend a couple hours,
That's
then
right.
that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Is there a phone number or email or whatever that people can
You
reach
can
at?
find the Leominster Trail Stewards on Facebook. We have a Facebook page, and you know, we have cards here. Let me make one last pitch before
Sure.
you steal the mic from me.
No, absolutely.
We're also representing the Twin City Rail Trail Association here. This is the draft plan for the rail trail. It's important if you have suggestions for improvements or changes to come down to City Hall, write them on the sheet that's there, and submit them in the box, and they'll be considered as the state finalizes the plan. So if you can, get a picture of that sheet. That's a $20 million project that we're talking about.
There you go. Well, thank you, Dick.
Thank you, Dean.
It makes a huge difference to have a trail group in town, and there's so many trails in town. Just maybe we can talk a little bit about just people often call and say, well, how do I know what trails? And I say, well, now they're marked. And, you know, there's just so many on so many different streets. Sometimes people aren't familiar. They're new to town. They can go to our website, correct?
You can go to City of Leominster's website
under the Recreation Department. You can pull up a copy of all the maps that we have. We also have
These maps
Yes.
off that website.
Yes.
That'll give you an indication. And a lot of the trails were never marked in the past. Remember, we talked about that in the past. I didn't know.
Poorly marked.
Right. Well, there were places I didn't know whether I was going on somebody. I knew we bought property near there.
Yeah.
You know, it's the city, but I didn't know we actually owned it. So I'd be hesitant to actually walk on the property. So I'd stop or turn around.
Yeah.
Now I know from trail to trail. I actually know, look like I know what I'm doing.
And you can also, there's QR codes out on the trails, on all the maps.
Right, so you can
and
pull
on our
up-
signs, you can use your phone and capture the QR code, and it'll bring up the map for you. So as you walk, you can look at your phone to see where you are on that map.
And keep your phone charged in the event that something does happen. This year we had very few people actually get lost because, you know, they used common sense and brought a little extra battery with them and were able to tell them where they were if they did get lost or hurt. So.
Right, and then if you know where you are and if you see the arrows and you have a map, there are maps right there at every intersection of the trails of that 9-mile loop trail, 9-mile Manusonoc Trail, and then on all the loop trails as well. So.
Imagine you could go 9 miles on a trail. That's right here in your backyard.
We have about 35 miles of
Yeah,
trails.
it's incredible. Well, we want people to know about it.
And more people are walking at Barrett Park.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
no, Doyle Field, Barrett
yes,
Park,
Doyle Field,
everywhere.
yeah.
The sidewalks we've
In
put
Fornia
around
Park,
town.
so they
People are active. That's the future.
Come in that there's all kinds of people going out, kids bringing their children to the playgrounds and playing, and they're out walking. People are pushing their strollers through all of our parks. So it's
Turn the TV off. Cut loose the video games. Put the phone down. That was to get you back for what you did to Angie. Okay, we're going to, I got to update you on a few things. So we'll put the microphone here and check to see if there's anybody that couldn't reach us but wanted to by going to our email. That's a good way to sort of, okay, so there are a few questions there. Mostly construction. Beacon of Hope we talked about, Sunday, April 28th. If you'd like to help us on Citywide City Pride, our city cleanup, please let us know. Leaf pickup is ongoing. Put as many as you want out there. They have to be in open barrels, or you can put them in cardboard boxes, or you can put them in those paper bags, but no plastic bags because we don't know if they're biodegradable or not. How are we doing for time there, Mr. Bradley?
18 minutes.
Okay. Let's see. Going through these really quick tonight. The full moon family hike to North Manusonoc is tomorrow night at 7:30. But I don't know if the weather is. Wendy, can you ask Judy if tomorrow night is weather? They have that full moon family hike to North Manusonoc Overlook. That's a beautiful thing to be able to do coming up, but I'm not sure what the weather's going to be. So that's April 20th and at 7:30. So contact the Recreation Department, 978-534-7529. And that's Saturday. Okay, Saturday. I think I said Friday. Taste of Leominster next week, April 24th, here at City Hall, 5 to 8. Let's see. Oh, okay, there's still time for this. Rollstone Bank is doing financial literacy, and they have a forum coming up on financial literacy April 24th at 7 o'clock. It's never too late to plan for retirement, so you can call them at Rollstone Bank and find out more information or go to their website. Leominster Public Library, this is pretty cool. It's doing a thing on mushrooms of the Northeast. Presentation by John Root. That's pretty fitting, right? The guy's name's John Root, and he's going to be teaching you about mushrooms of the Northeast. Kind of cool. Tuesday, April 30th at 7 o'clock at the Leominster Public Library. I think we talked about the trail stewards. Don't forget to fill out those census forms. remember that you have to, by April 30th, you have to have those dog licenses filled out, right, Diana? You have to have your dog license filled out. LeominsterCrimeStoppers.com if you want to report 100% anonymous. You can go to LeominsterCrimeStoppers.com and you can text or email your tip. If you're interested in starting a business, you know somebody that's interested in starting a business, have them give us a call at City Hall, and we will be so helpful to them. They will appreciate it. And you know what? It takes a lot of money today to not only run a business, but to get the thing off the ground. We want those people, those entrepreneurs of all ages, all ethnic groups, to really be aware of what regulations there might be out there. What we don't like is, you know, it hurts us, we feel bad, is when somebody comes in after the process and said, oh, you know, I think I messed up, I need to come to City Hall. And they've spent a lot of money getting off the ground, yet there are some things that they needed to do they didn't know about. It may have affected the price, the purchase price of the business or the property. So if you're interested at all, again, 978-534-7500. Not many left. If you want to start thinking about next year's gift, or is a anniversary coming up, or some sort of a function and special occasion, hi. And there's our Leominster blanket. And again, not many left, so give us a call at City Hall. It's got all those historic spots, and we want to make sure you take full advantage of that. May 5th, put this on your calendar. That's the annual Dr. Martin Feldman celebration at Leominster Library from 1:30 to 4. And also, it's on the 18th. Put this down. We got a lot of calls on this now. It's starting to come in. Nice weather. When is the citywide yard sale? It is May 18th from 8 to 3 o'clock. We'll be promoting it more as it gets closer. We'll promote it. And then we kick into the Memorial Day event. So a lot happening, but most recently is the walk, which is coming up, the Full Moon Family Hike on the 20th, and that is at 7:30. But you're going to need to call the rec department if we have inclement weather. And then the Taste of Leominster next week, which is April 24th, right here at City Hall, 5 to 8. Great time. Everyone is just so happy and excited about what's going on, and it's a good chance. Everybody, you know, it's a good icebreaker. The thing that gets us all to engage with each other is we have to have something in common to talk about, right? So sometimes you go to an event and it's, you know, a little bit uncomfortable, awkward for some people, but when it's food, everybody has something to talk about. So you can engage with people, and everyone is so friendly. You Can Paint is a new art business here in the city of Leominster. They're in our Gallagher building. It's part of the startup operation. These are businesses that are looking to start up and grow, and that's the first step for them. And we have reasonable space for those businesses that want to participate. And their number is 978-549-7315. They'll actually come out to your house and set up for you. Wendy, why don't you come on down, as I'm beginning to lose my voice. Excuse me, I'm sorry for coughing into the... There's Wendy Weeks, our Grand Administrator. Hi. Tons of project, the snow is gone.
We planted some.
Planted pansies all over the place, right?
Yep. Tulips.
Tulips were planted, and looks good. And you know, I get excited. You know, I get excited when we can actually see flowers in the ground for the first time. I will torture myself through winter, through the toughest of them all. But boy, when it comes to being able to plant those first flowers and see them in those beautiful colors that pansies have and tulips, it provides hope, right?
Well, it's finally spring.
It's spring. Spring has sprung.
And even when we get flurries and it lands on the pansies, they still make it.
You know what? This weather, pansies love this weather. Now, when it gets really hot, I recommend, you know, taking those because they look so nice right now. But I recommend, as the weather gets warmer, move those to a location that's got more shade. And then by time the heat and sun hits them by, you know, the July, so you can get your money's worth. Today's the 18th, so you can plant them in the ground, get them tomorrow somewhere, and plant them in the ground. You're going to be around till June or July. And then, again, if you can save them, and then you can retransplant them in the fall. So that's my helpful hint, Bradley, for plants, just in case you wanted to. So tell us what's going on.
We get some exciting things going on.
Really kick into fast season here, the construction season.
So Mechanic Street Park is underway. Those guys are really working down there.
They really are, man. It's fun to see that project.
That's going to be phase 1. It's going to be done by mid to late May. Then we're going to move into phase 2. Right in the middle of summer, they're going to start going down toward Wells Court, and that's going to be an entire open area. We're going to plant like 33 trees and all kinds of, I showed you the list the other day of all kinds of plants.
All the species.
They really organized it so they bloom at different times of the summer, and it's just going to be impressive.
Now people will say, well, you know, French Hill and East Side, and people don't take care of things, but the reality is there hasn't been anything down there to take care of. There hasn't been parks or anything, and so we police the area. The police department's great about it. We have good neighborhood connections down there. We're also going to use some, cameras on some of our parks, not to be intrusive, to watch what you're doing down there, but in the event that, something needs to be seen there, they will be, and we'll have a police box, same as we have at the fire department. So, so we're making a substantial investment.
It's $1.6 million.
$1.6 million is huge, and all it takes is one person to kind of road. But we're not about to roll up all our parks because there are a few people that will take advantage of things and abuse it and try to scare people away. No, we're not going home easy. When we set up our neighborhood trailer on the east side, the word was, we'll wait you out. You think you're smarter than us, but eventually the state police and the DEA and the Leominster police pushed them out, and there's always going to be activity wherever there are people, but nothing like what was down there before. And this, this park will be maintained. It won't be a park that we will build and then run away from. And just like the other parks that when we do projects, Doyle Field and whatever, they're maintained.
Yep.
And this will be included. It'll be so nice to come down Mechanic Street.
And through the public process, we, all the neighbors, we had like 30, 40 neighbors there.
I remember that.
They're all invested
excited
in this park. They, they will watch out for it too, and they care for it, and they were really excited about it. And that they'll be watching out for anything that's wrong down there.
Right.
They'll tell us. It's a big partnership.
It sure is.
Between us and them.
Rail trail we saw tonight, moving right along. I mean, that's finally. I mean, and for those like you and I have been working on it since Dick O'Brien and other people have been in this thing for the last 25 years. It was like we're not turning back. This thing's going to happen. It's just so we finally got to that point and working out the final details, and it'll go out to bid, and we'll be on our bikes before long.
And we're going to start to move up to the Veterans Center and the Senior Center. We're going to work on that. Part of the Complete Streets program was we spent about $400,000 throughout the city on sidewalks. One of those projects was on West Street, and with that came the design of the landscaping in front of the Senior Center and the Veterans Center. So we're going to work on that. The trees are going to be replaced with adult trees.
We've made several attempts, but they had mismatch of borders there, and this time they'll have granite curbing. It'll look really nice. Every time it rains, the bark mulch won't roll off down the street.
And we're going to have irrigation.
Irrigation. It's just, just the right, a little bit of water keeps those plants alive. And why not? Our veterans and senior citizens are up there, and they deserve it.
And it's the entrance, one of the entrances to downtown.
Sure is. What else? So Route 13, the design process continues. So they're working on the final designs, but the right-of-way issues, which means some properties they need to be able to go on the property to work. Some properties they're going to have to take slivers of those properties. Those are coming down to the final stages now, so that's exciting. Also,
North Street.
What's that?
North Street.
So North Street, amazing. So it's kind of funny. That's one project that shows how communities can work together. So at the Fitchburg level, they started on the low end because that's where water goes and that's where sewer goes, and they did all that over. So they're putting in sidewalks. The next level they're doing the road, and they've finished the infrastructure. So as each phase goes, they'll put the sidewalks in, then pave on the Fitchburg side. then they'll move up. That simultaneously, they'll be putting sidewalks in on the Lunenburg side, and they'll just keep moving up until the project's done.
But that's a perfect project that shows you how much has to go into a project like this to do it right, from the underground infrastructure to the utilities, everything.
I remember a young lady was very, 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 very disappointed about the condition of North Street. And I said, well, this isn't just paving. I don't care what you do. And I'm like, yeah, but this is, there's no reason for this. I'm like, well, there is, because this is $9 million. Any other community would do anything to get $9 million in their 3 communities. It's very hard to get these projects funded and to get them on the list and the tip, and then get them, and get them brought up on the tip. And working together, we were able to do that. And and she just wanted it smooth, and I'm like, well, why are we going to make it smooth and just tear it up again? So we're going to put, all this money into it and just rip it up again. So we did get it smooth out for the winter. And then she called back and said, now you're tearing it up. I said, yeah, well, we only put a small amount down just to smooth it out because people were complaining, and understandably so. But now, yes, we're not done the work. So anyway, $9 million, that's funded. Project, I'm sure it'll be wrapped up this year. I mean, the contract is flying down. It's amazing how fast. And, that we won't have to touch that area for another, and when they do, they're just going to have to recode it and not do all the infrastructure. They did culvert pipes, detention basins, retention areas. I mean, it's amazing all the work that they did down there.
So here we are tonight at this, celebrating the environment. And so we have spent, I added it up, and we have spent, with the state matching it, we have spent almost $3 million on parks since maybe 2012. And at Doyle Field, we've spent $2.2 million.
That's amazing.
So almost $5 million.
We were discussing this at a state meeting, and I remember when we first started to apply for those open space grants, one of the conditions was you had to have an open space plan. So they didn't want you just putting in for things, they wanted you to have a plan. Well, Leominster first saw the opportunity, we got our open space plan done, and then we started to get all the money.
1997.
Everybody got upset because they said, well, why does Leominster get all the money? And the answer was because they had their open space plan, and then people hired consultants and were on the fast track trying to do whatever it took to get those projects done. And we got them done, and now there's more competition, but there's also more money. But that's good. We run out of time here, just 2 minutes left.
But we're doing that now. We're still doing that process.
Exactly.
With the MVP program, the vulnerability preparedness program, that's going to get us money to fix things like culverts and dams. And so now we're preparing that plan. That's the state's new program. So we're still doing all that.
A lot going on. We have so many projects going on here in the city, and finally, the spring is got us in that mode of okay, we're ready to go. We're going to get this done because it doesn't take long before the blade's back on. But today, construction is different. There's a beginning and an end. The contractors want to get in and finish up. They have better management in terms of things, more technology, lasers for elevation and all of that. So are we wrapping up here? Are we wrapping up here, Bradley? I don't know. Do we have time? Oh, we do. Okay. So we have another minute left. I want to talk about the downtown and all the things that are happening, not only the events, but an interesting conversation we had with a new business that's coming downtown said, the question was, why'd you choose downtown? And she said, I spent 5 years looking for a location, the right location. And it's so inviting, so historic, and there's so many different events. The number one thing I hear from people, besides the sheep, is about all the event. I was at an event tonight in Worcester, a business, and all I hear from people is, hey, you guys are doing a nice job out in Leominster. This is from a business event. And, all the things there's always something going on. That's the brand for us.
Well, the place to be.
That's it. Out of time here at Inside Leominster. Thank you, Bradley, and the whole crew at Inside Leominster. Good night, God bless you. Remember, the world's run by those who show up. See you at Taste of Leominster. Good night.